All right, here we are in our 1987 Chrysler Conquest TSi. One of the more unique cars I've had the pleasure to deal with here. So we're gonna start things up. I'm gonna put on my lap belt because it automatically puts the shoulder strap on. Got the ridiculous mouse belt from the late 80s, early 90s on here. And we'll go for a quick ride. Amazingly, this is a very original car with 10,308 miles on the odometer at the moment. And as you're probably aware, this is the Chrysler Conquest TSi. There was also the Mitsubishi Starion, essentially the same car. This is a 2.6 liter, 4-cylinder turbocharged car with 176 horsepower, believe it or not. Good for 130 miles per hour top speed, they say. And I'm doing about 60 miles an hour in fourth gear. Got the windows up so it stays quiet in here for the video, but it's a really fun car to drive, and you can hear the turbo spooling up all the time. And it's really got a great exhaust note from the outside of the car. About 60 in fourth gear. It's sort of a bumpy 55-mile-an-hour road here up the hill. Go around this bend down to third. Back up to fourth. It's just a really cool car. We just put new rear brakes on this car, rebuilt brake calipers from a guy in Virginia. It was really hard to find brake calipers for this car in the rear, and just from non-use, the brakes that were on the car in the rear had seized. And we bought a set of rebuilt brake calipers from a guy named Steve in Virginia, and his website is starquestparts.net, and all he specializes in are parts for Mitsubishi Starions and Chrysler Conquests. Super nice guy to deal with, and happy to buy those parts from him. I mean, any guy who wants to devote his life to this funky, quirky car is happy to have my business. Although there was nowhere else to buy them. You just couldn't get them anywhere. So I know he does brake parts, but he also does other trim parts and has various parts cars and things. But it was nice to deal with him at starquestparts.net. So it goes without saying, the brakes on the car are fabulous now. And you know, it isn't a high horsepower car, of course, but it's a lot of fun to drive this little 4-cylinder turbo, and here we are doing about 64, 65 miles an hour. And I've got to be careful here on this road because it's heavily patrolled, but you can have tons of fun in this car on the twisty roads, as you just saw, under 60 miles an hour. And it's perfectly fine on the highway too. The AC works really well. I'll do a video showing just all the 80s goodness in this car. You know, original stereo with the graphic equalizer and digital climate control, automatic climate control actually in this car. The wheel is funky with, you know, buttons, volume buttons for the stereo, and it was just a cool time for design, especially from Japanese manufacturers. And while this is Chrysler badged, it's got Mitsubishi tags underneath because Mitsubishi needed to partner with Chrysler in order to bring them into the country, I guess. But the seats are crazy comfortable with all kinds of adjustments, and you know, they look like a late 60s office chair from Herman Miller or something. They're very very cool, very comfortable. I don't really want to stop driving this car. We might just do another, let's see if we'll do another lap around my little test track here. Got to give these folks some space. Yeah, let's just go a little bit more. You can hear the turbo spool there. 45 in second gear, 60 to third, down into up into fourth. I mean, it's just a super cool car. The dash is perfect. I mean, I don't know what to say about a 10,000 mile car other than it's pretty beautiful. I think we'll just turn around right here. So if you want to take something funky to Radwood, I think this is the ticket. And I never claim a car will be the lowest mile car anywhere, because somebody always has one with lower miles. But whatever it is, 10,314 or so at this point, it's pretty low. It's really a neat time capsule machine. I also just put a new battery in it, so that's going to be good to go. But we're just going to be conservative here and stop at the roundabout for this traffic. You know, of course, one of the cool things about a lot of these cars from the 80s and 90s are the headlights. I'll do a video with the headlights as well, but let's just see. Oh, there's the Tobin Motorworks mascot there, my crow. Let's just, I think you'll be able to see this in the window. And we'll turn on the lights for you. There you go. Pretty cool, right? All right, that's the 1987 Chrysler Conquest TSi.